It can take up to a decade and $100 million to develop one of these chemicals. And so as they look at their testing and say, look, we know that these are not toxic to insects, they come back and fight these environmental groups and beekeepers who are very concerned about the effects they think they're seeing on the field of these particular chemicals. At least $500,000 has been spent on lobbying this. It was part of the 2014 Farm Bill. And even though these numbers are a little bit better today, there was no factor given as why the factors may have actually improved a bit. So the battle will continue.
Alan, what might we see going forward then? What might help the bees?
Well, you're still seeing this pressure in order to see the neonicotinoids be banned. Canada is looking at it as well. They're looking for the outcome of what might happen in Europe in the next couple of years. You're going to be seeing more emphasis on pollinator health and agricultural policy. The USDA unveiled some new resources for beekeepers today. It's not going away, just like the bee deaths themselves.
Alan, what else do we need to know from this report?
Well, here's something important to know about this report. The USDA does this survey annually, and it's a voluntary survey. So you had about 7,200 beekeepers respond. That's about a fifth of the commercial beekeepers in the United States. But because it's self-selected, it's not necessarily so scientific. So even though you see a decline this year, you really have to look for future years before you can really tell whether this problem is getting better or not. There's a lot of variation year to year. The rate remains above the level that beekeepers say they need to keep their hives sustainable. It's still more than it was, say, a decade ago. We are not out of the woods yet.
Bloomberg's agriculture reporter Alan Birga joining us from Washington. Alan, thank you. Coming up, Congressman Tim Bishop and